Even though moving was a painful process for us, I stopped along the way to jot down some notes. So I am giving you the benefit of my bitter experience so that you don't have to suffer like this sap. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura from How to Do IST, and I help you get organized, get motivated, and get through the hideousness that is moving house. I have compiled a list of my top tips to help save your sanity, and if you are moving with someone, to save your relationship. You're welcome. Tip number 1, reconsider. I mean, I half jest with this one, but do you really want to move? Really? Because moving is hell. It is tedious drudgery that will drive you to the brink of insanity. Wouldn't you be better off just staying put, saving yourself a lot of heartache? No, you really have to, or for some inexplicable reason want to move. Okay, fine. Tip number 2, declutter. The less you have to move, the better. Trust me on that one. It is cheaper and much quicker, and anything that speeds up the process and cuts down the cost is so worth it. Ask yourself, if this item were destroyed in a fire or a flood or even in transit during the move, would you be devastated? I mean, yes, you'd probably be sad, but would you be actually inconsolable? Because if not, it's not worth it. Tip number 3, pay someone else. I don't care if it's a professional or a pack of teenagers out to make a quick buck, though obviously the latter comes with its risks. Now, I have no idea how representative this is of the average, but we paid $52 per man per hour for our recent move. If it's an option, get them to not only pack everything for you, but also to unpack it at the other end, and then, put it all together or put it away, whatever needs doing, and then remove all of the boxes, the packaging, and the rubbish. When we relocated here from Ireland, the company we used did everything for us, and it was the smoothest move I've ever made. If it is even remotely in your budget, I don't care if you have to live on bread and water for the next few weeks, do it. It will be cheaper in the long run than the therapy you will need if you don't. And here is a little bonus tip for you. Don't throw a moving party and invite all of your friends, because you will quickly find you have none. Tip number 4, change your address. In the weeks leading up to your move, every time you get a new piece of post, contact that person or that company and let them know what your new address is. And just to make sure that you don't miss anything, go to the post office and have them redirect all of your mail. The last thing you'll need in the middle of a move is the new occupiers of your old home putting a curse on you because they then have to forward all of your packages, or they just keep all that stuff for themselves. Tip number 5, commit not to fight with your family. This one is a tough one because they will do 11 bajillion things to bug the living snot out of you during the process. But remember that everyone just wants to get through it. They might have a different way of doing things than you do. They might want things set up a slightly different way, but just breathe. This is just a small part of a bigger picture. So even though you will want to bludgeon them to death at some point, remember that they are part of this too, so they are already suffering. Tip number 6, order food. Forget about cooking. You will be too tired, or the pans will still be packed away in a box somewhere and you don't remember which one. You already have enough on your plate without literally adding something to your plate. If you want to and you have some energy and you've showered off the 7 layers of sweat, go out somewhere. If not, pick up the phone, put up your feet. Tip number 7, check in. If you're doing a big move, like our big transatlantic move last year, where you either won't be bringing your furniture with you or you just won't have the time to set it up, then save yourself from sleeping on the floor and check yourself into a hotel or an Airbnb or stay with a friend. You will be so glad to get to a nice, clean, unchaotic bed at the end of a very long day. Believe me, you will want a break from the mess. Fresh towels, fluffy robes, room service. You deserve it. Tip number 8, allow much more time than you think. Okay, let me disillusion you right now. You do have a lot of stuff, much more than you think you do. You're not Santa, okay? You don't have a whole army of elves ready to wrap and pack everything for you. Unless you have an awful lot of money, in which case, why are you even watching this video? All your moving problems are solved. For the rest of us, if you think that you can pack and move and unpack in a day or even a weekend, think again. Double that time and you may be able to make a decent dent in it. Tip number 9, try to do it all in one go. Now I know I said it would take ages, but what I mean by this is don't be doing it in dribs and drabs. Dive in and get it done. A truck is going to be so much quicker than making several trips back and forth in your car. I know you're thinking, oh, I'll just, drop some stuff off when I'm on the way to work every morning. Job will be done in no time. You will live to regret those words till your dying day. Just suck it up and see it through. Tip number 10, hydrate. Moving is thirsty, sweaty work. It will try to drain the very life force out of you. So stay ahead of the game and keep hydrated. Moving is already bad enough. Moving with a headache and other dehydration symptoms, you don't want to go there. And don't wait until you feel thirsty. No, it's too late then. Keep yourself topped up. And remember to refuel with regular snacks too. You will need all of the energy you can muster, which by the end of it will not be much. Tip number 11, be careful. All of that lifting is really hard on your back, so go easy and use proper manual handling procedures. Lift with your legs or you'll do yourself an injury, like I did.
Oh lads, I've banjaxed my back. I'm in bits. Oh God. Owies.
The last thing you will need in the middle of a move is to pull a muscle or put your back out. So don't be a hero. If you can't lift something safely, get help. Tip number 12, unpack as quickly as you can. I know, you're in bits. You feel like you have just run a marathon with a mountain on your back. And if you are like me, you will want to take your time and have everything set up perfectly. Don't do it. Just throw it anywhere. It might maybe make sense and then tweak as you go. Believe me, it is much better to decide after a few days that those plates might be better off in that other cupboard. Otherwise, 5 years from now, you're still going to have at least one box in your basement that you haven't unpacked. I know half the audience right now is like, oh, how did she know about that? And now that you have settled into your new home, make a blood pact that you will never put yourself through that again. Okay, who else has moving tips? Drop them below. And if you are moving soon, you have my sympathy. I hope these tips will save at least some of your sanity. You can kiss goodbye to the rest of it though. If you are looking for a little extra boost of motivation, because I'm pretty sure this video has done nothing to endear you to the process, then check out my other video on how to get things done even when you don't want to do them. If it weren't for this, I would get nothing done. Until next time, cura míle mágaibh, agus feicim mé sibhte go luath. Slán!